This time on Fortune Hunters.
Love that sound.
Us bored kids, we have to play with small Legos.
WTF?
We're gonna put the digger in the dirt and see what happens.
Floppity floppity earring.
So, welcome to another Fortune Hunters. This is Fortune Hunters number 8. This one is jam-packed. It's, we're going all over the place. We kind of always go all over the place, don't we? But today, we're with Brian and Pete at Forestry Tower Park in Jacksonville. And there's a lot of history to that area, so we're going to explore that. And Joe does a short night hunt and finds a couple of really good things, but that's after he does a wacky beach hunt. And I'm telling you, this is a wacky one. So you got to stay just for that. Fast forward to that point. I do a short hunt at a field that I've been hunting since I started detecting. And during that hunt, probably the best thing I found, well, you'll see that. But I give you a little bit of advice, probably a tip on how to use the Garrett Pro Pointer. It's a little trick, so stick around for that. And then we're going to speak with Mike Schrand and Lisa LaRose, a couple of preservationists. They're friends of mine, and they're doing something very special for St. Louis. And stick around for that as well. But first, here's my little hunt at Old Trusty. So this is Old Trusty. Check it out. I've been hunting here since I started, and we're gonna try to, get the deep signals today. That's what I'm going for, because I think I've pretty much cleaned it out as far as all the shallow stuff goes. And there's been a lot of things. I found a lot of stuff here, and one day I'll probably show you a roundup of all the things that I found here. But let's see. I have this deep quarter signal, and it just sounds really good. So let's see what we uncover. To those of you who use the Garrett Pro Pointer, I sometimes think that it doesn't go deep enough, but most of the time it's perfect. I don't want it to go too deep, because then you never know which side of the hole the target is on. But there's a little trick you could do to get a little bit more distance out of your pinpointer, and I'm going to show you right now. What you do is you get yourself a coin. And, since you probably have a lot of coins in your pocket while you're metal detecting, that shouldn't be a problem. But some people say to use a quarter or a nickel. I think a dime works the best. It doesn't increase the sensitivity as much. So what you do is you turn your detector off, and you turn it back on to balance it. And then you take the coin and you slide it up just to the edge of this until it starts beeping. You see that? It's beeping a little bit. Then you take it back until it stops beeping. That's it. You just increase your sensitivity. And in this case, it helped. Man, that was deep. That's 8 inches for a 1990 quarter. WTF? Here's another signal that I just can't resist doing a live dig for. I mean, it just sounds great. It's really deep. So, I mean, you never know what you're going to find in this field. I've found everything from gold to silver rings and silver quarters, mercury dimes, military buttons. So, let's see what's in here. Wow. Holy cow, there's another 9-inch quarter. Let's see what year this is. 1969 quarter. So y'all, I went out to Old Trusty today and I found this. I'm always digging up something military out there, and I don't know what it is. I haven't done the research yet, but maybe you guys have seen it before, so let me know if you know what this is all about. It says GS on it, that's all it says. The back is plain. Looked like it used to be a pen. So yeah, let me know. Now let's visit with Joe on the beach in a very rich neighborhood.
Well, here we are on a deserted stretch of the beach that I've never hunted and that nobody ever hunts because there's nothing out here. So I've been detecting along and I found 21 cents so far in a lot of can slaw, and I don't know, prospects aren't too good. But if you look over here, these are all extremely expensive houses, and this is all private beach access. There's no public beach access for quite some ways around here. So there is the off chance that some extremely rich socialite was here in the winter. They came out here to smoke their pipe with their monocle and their top hat, and they dropped their monocle, and when they were digging around for it, they dropped their $500 million gold ring. So we're gonna find that ring now. We have found something, a couple sea beans, a teddy bear, and a non-detectorist found a coin, a zinky. Wow. There's a target here. Oh, the manta ray just jumped. The stingray. Look at that. That's different. What's this? We have a target. It sounds like a coin. It's right there. Let's dig it. I lost it, guys. I know it didn't vanish. There it is. Look at that. Another dime. That's 31 cents. Yeah. You know what? This sounds exactly like a diamond tennis bracelet. It does, I'm serious. It's deep, so let's get in there and dig it. Come on. There it is. Oh, what is it? It's not a diamond tennis bracelet. It's a nickel. Look at that, a nickel. All of the detail on the face of it is worn away. Not bad though. We found something. Rich person nickel. Is this worth more than a regular nickel? 77, 78. Could be a screw cap. Could be a screw cap. Let's see. Could be a token. Could be badly corroded dime. That also makes sense. It's just a zinc penny, but people are dropping coins out here, man. They're dropping them. Rich people. Giant Legos. This is what rich kids play with. Us poor kids, we have to play with small Legos. Guys, well, I'm gonna wax poetic on you here a little bit, you know? It's not about the finds or the treasure. It's about the hunt and who you get to hunt with. And today, I get to hunt with you guys. And nothing could be more special than that. Plus, it's beautiful out. The moon is up, it's gorgeous out, so it really doesn't matter if we don't find anything. Wait, what's this? Oh, we've got a deep signal. A deep signal that's ringing in the 90s. It could just be a quarter, or it could be a silver ring. Let's see. It's deep. It's very deep. Oh. All right. It's what I thought. It's a quarter, but it was deep, and that's the second quarter we found. So rich people drop dimes too. There's no telling what this could be. It's deep. So let's see. Ah, it is just a crusty zinky. We found quite a few of those. Sounds like iron. It's very strange. I got to be careful with this one. No. Huh. Wow, this sounded like iron. Looks like that's probably a nickel. Yeah, I see Monticello on there, so that's just a nickel, but man, that was deep, and it sounded like iron, which is strange. Let me check the hole again. Nope, that was it. Very strange. Dig them deep signals. Deep coin signal, it appears to be a dime or a penny. Copper, so let's see, sometimes those are small silver rings, so nope, it's another dime. Very strong gold signal, probably a piece of foil or a piece of can slaw. But you never pass up foil signals on the beach if you don't know. It's actually a small piece of copper something. It's like a piece of I don't know. So here are the results of today's beach hunt. We've got $1.75 in crusty clad, including a very corroded dime, complete with holes going all the way through it. It's nice, very nice stuff here. And the most interesting thing we found was this strange coin which ran like a bottle cap. It's the size of a nickel, but it's not a nickel. If you look, there's other kinds of markings and designs on there. I believe this is some kind of foreign coin. The composition is not like a nickel. That's why it was ringing more like a zinc penny, even though it's the size of a nickel. Or like a bottle cap. So it's too corroded to be able to say for sure what it is, but it's not your average American clad. Exactly what it is, I can't say for sure. But
it is more likely than not valuable.
Let's head out to Jacksonville. Joe and Brian are going to hunt Forestry Tower Park.
This is Brian, and I'm with Jacksonville Pete in Jacksonville, and we're going fortune hunting at Fire Tower Park, an old ranger tower erected in the early 1900s. And Pete's had quite a bit of success there, and he's taking me to the honey hole today.
There used to be an old trailer out here that I found on an old map, on an old topographical map, so I know where the old trailer was that the ranger used to stay in. So the area I plan on concentrating on today would be right out in front of their front door. Now along this way also used to be Flagler Railroad right down Beach Boulevard, a strip of Flagler Railroad, and there used to be a stop right over here.
All right, let's swing.
Found a few Wheaties out here, a few pennies. Over by the picnic bench right there, I found a little copper ring, and I found a old spinner reel. One with a cap on it. That when they bird nest drive you insane.
Right.
Push button on the back of the cast.
Close face reel.
Yeah. Out in the middle of the park out there, there's a water spigot out that direction. It's an old water
Old
spigot.
one, yeah. Cool.
An old water spigot out there, and I found an axe head out that way. This is where I found the axe head.
Look at these trees, man.
Yeah. Over here I found a lot of trash over here because you got a playground right there. Where are they? Right over there on the ground. You can see it right down there. And there's another one right over there in front of that bench. Which is the one we're going to walk over to. And I've actually had a decent amount of success with finding a lot of pennies out right around this area. But they're old
The survey marker.
survey markers. There's an old survey marker here.
Sorry.
Looks like from 1962. And there's the tower. The tower's obviously no longer in use. But the city decided to keep it.
Because it's cool.
And it's a cool little thing.
Well, we're gonna put the digger in the dirt and see what happens.
Got Pete. Got myself a, what caliber is that? Looks like a 357 caliber. Oh, I just lost it. It says it used to be an old ranger station. I found a lot of brass out here.
I bet.
Oh yeah.
I just found my first coin of the day. Appears to be a newer nickel. Yes, it is. The new nickel. Well, at least I'm on the board. The skunk is off. Okay, coin number 2 is right here. And it appears to be a shoot memorial. Pete just gave me a holler. He's on something. An old car. Cool.
It looks like an old Tootsie toy car. Is what it looks like. I have to clean it up later on and wash it off. But it actually has all 4 wheels still on it and everything.
Cool.
Yeah. But it does look like an old Tootsie toy. What it looks like, which put it back probably back in 1960s.
Just found a very old nickel, and it is in the range for being 35% silver, a war nickel. It is a 42. However, there were a few that were not. Pete's been finding large nails, and here is a chisel. Well, it says it's a Remington MC 12 gauge sure shot. Alright, we appear to be in Jewelryville again, not Jacksonville. I just popped this out of the ground. I haven't had a good look at it yet. And it is jewelry. Oh, it's got an odd look to it. I don't know if it's silver. It looks like iridescent on the one side. Hard to tell. Might be. Might just be tarnished. Let's see what it says inside. Yup, it's stamped. It's silver. Yep. Yes, the precious drought is over. Woo! Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Oh man, it's been a long time. It ain't much, but I'll take it. Well, Pete said there were silver and Wheaties right in this area. I just found a silver ring, and he told me to dig to China if I get the slightest little hint of a coin deep. Nice, easy digging. So I just pulled this right out of the hole. It is a 1953 Wheatie. I haven't found a wheat in a while. Again, no pain, no grain. Oh, look what I found. Right next to the Wheatie. An ever-ready electric razor head, or safety razor head. Very interesting. Can't wait to clean this up when we get home.
Hi, this is Brian, and I just got back from Jacksonville. We had a pretty good hunt. Well, I did. Pete didn't find a whole lot. But I wanted to do another wrap up here in the light, now that I've got my stuff cleaned off. And there's a bunch of clad. A lot of copper. Almost entirely copper. Pennies. This 1942 nickel is not silver. You can see the colors coming through, the purple and stuff. There's the copper in it. And this is cool. It actually still moves and works now that I got it cleaned off. Ever ready, made in USA, back in 1912. It'd be part of an earlier electric razor or something, or maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know anything about razors. I rarely use them myself. And the silver ring, stamped 925, and the maker's mark J, which I could not find any record of after a short hunt on the internet. And my wheat penny. 1953. The curse is lifted. Keep swinging.
Let's meet back up with Joe and do a little night hunting.
So I'm hunting out here at night. They just had the boat show here in downtown West Palm Beach, and they dug up some of these median areas. They took out the sod. As you can see, there's where the sod continues. So I'm searching along here where they removed the sod, and I got like a coin signal down here real deep. It was really hard to get up there in the roots, but check out what I found. This appears to be a silver ring. Shows some serious signs of age, and it's got some turquoise embedded in it. It's been smushed, but it does appear to be silver. We found some more jewelry. Look at this crazy thing. Floppity floppity earring. It's a token. Galaxy World. This was next to some iron, and it just caught the faint glint, glint of a little bit of high tone. There's a lot of blending going on here. So you gotta dig strange signals. Anyway, they had the boat show this past weekend, and they tore up the sod, and so there was some, fresh exposed earth. So I thought I'd take advantage of it, go see what I could find, it was a good opportunity, so I spent a bit of time out there. I probably was out there for 3 hours, and it was quite productive. I found $6.23 in clad, which you can see there. Most of it from the 70s. I think that what was uncovered was brown from the 70s. And we found a couple more keys, an old pull tab. They don't make them like that anymore. A couple of buttons. Some fancy, some badly corroded jewelry in this part of a pin. We got this leaf here, which appears to be copper, painted green. So this might have been part of some sort of artwork or something out there. Now, the best things we found were in the strip, and those are these items right here. And we'll start with the token. Nothing too fancy, but it says Galaxy World. And I haven't done the research about Galaxy World, but it's probably an arcade. I can't imagine it's too old. I'm guessing it probably dates to the 70s, like everything else that we found. We found this earring, which is silver, and it's got some designs on it. It's pretty neat. It also looks like it dates to the 70s. It sort of has that, I don't know, it's got a 70s vibe to it. And we found this nice ring here. This is stamped sterling. It's silver, and it's got a nice piece of turquoise set in it. It's been crushed. Now you can see it's still got a tag on here. I can't make out the writing on it. It says something of 5. So what I'm thinking is that this was from somebody's jewelry display case that they were out there during a festival or something, and they lost it. So it was there. It was a real difficult dig. It was way down underneath these roots. I almost gave up on it, but I'm glad I didn't, because this is the best thing we found today. And I gotta say, this is one of the most interesting hunts we've had in a while. So, you know, it just goes to show you know that it pays to when you get the chance, an opportunity like this, to take it. You know, who knows when the next time that sod will be torn up. So I'm glad I spent a few hours out there, and there you can see the stamp. So it was a good, interesting hunt tonight, and we got a long weekend this weekend, so maybe we'll get some more hunting in.
We're heading back to St. Louis. I meet with preservationists Mike Schrand and Lisa LaRose about a project they've taken on to preserve and rebuild one of the oldest standing buildings in St. Louis.
I'm Mike Schrand, and my wife Lisa and I own this property now, which we bought from the city LRA, and it houses this structure here, which is in its remains from a long time ago. But as you can see, it's all limestone held together with some sort of grouting. We think that there's a possibility that this basement might have been the original structure of the house, that it was originally a one-story building, and then when this common land on which the building was built was changed by the city to either be a business or a residence, that the second story was built and they called it a residence. It has been in this state for quite a while. If you look over here to this empty lot, back about 6 years ago, there was a gas company called Praxair that was over there, and there was a huge fire and explosion with tanks of gas, and this is the only building that has survived the Praxair explosion. As you can see, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but what we want to do is assess. We have an archaeological assessment that needs to be done, and then from there we can determine, you know, how we're going to repair the rest of this house and get it back up. And eventually what we would like to do is turn this into a not-for-profit Missouri Museum of History for about German settlers, because we believe that German settlers were the ones that built this structure on this land. So,
shortly after I spoke with Mike and after the property was cleaned up a little bit, I met up with the Schrand family and we talked about what this house is all about, a little bit of the history. Here's Lisa LaRose.
All right, so this was before it was Lafayette Square with all the Victorian mansions. This was in like homestead property. It was the St. Louis Commons. It was basically shared by everyone. The settlers, they probably had livestock graze on it, that sort of thing. And it wasn't owned by anyone. And then around the late 1830s, early or 1840s, St. Louis saw a big influx of immigrants coming through, and housing became a problem. So the state of Missouri legislature voted that St. Louis City should start parceling off the St. Louis Commons and selling tracts of lands to immigrants, settlers, so that they can build homes on them and help address the housing problem. So the first person that actually owned this tract of land was a Swiss immigrant. He was a land speculator. He purchased this property, I think in like 1840, something like that. Then he sold this strip to a Peter Becker, who was a German immigrant, him and his wife Maria. They lived here from 1844 to 1850, and we believe they're the ones that actually built the structure as it looks here now. And then they sold it in 1850 to another German immigrant family. They were we believe from Bavaria, and it was George and Margaret Anthes, and they had 5 children. And believe it or not, all 7 of them lived in this building, and it stayed in the Anthes, under the Anthes ownership for about 56 years. I believe the last one that lived here was the sister of George Anthes. Her name was Philomena, and I believe she died around 1906. One of the sons of George Anthes, when they first moved in here, was a candle maker. There was a slaughterhouse that was across the street, and they would use the animal fat to make tallow candles. So he's actually, in the 1850 census, his son has himself down as a candle maker. So we intend to build the structure the way it looked, probably in 1844. It'll have a basement level. I don't know if it'll be really big enough to host any kind of exhibits in it, but we'll have 2 galleries, the second and third floor, and we hope to have museum exhibits. And then the exterior, we want to do like some green space and some gardens to how it looked for, homesteaders who were self-sustaining farmers.
With like period plants and plantings and things like that?
Yeah, try to do something like that. We want to kind of have some plots and then let some of the local people that live around here utilize them as allotments. So to have gardening for them. And maybe even, things like German lessons and, just anything that would keep people's interest in the history of the city and help cultivate a new generation of preservationists in the city, because it has so much to offer historically, and it's sad because a lot of it gets torn down for new stuff that isn't as significant, I feel.
Well, I mean, I think this thing has somewhat of importance to people other than yourselves, because it wouldn't still be standing, obviously, if somebody else hadn't thought that this was an important structure.
It's always had a guardian angel, it seems, looking over. The residents in this area were hoping somebody would come in and fix it up, so they put, basically a lot of stipulations on it for the sale. Like, anybody that wanted to buy this could not tear the structure down. That was part of the deal. And so, of course, there was a lot of land developers that would like to build a new house or whatever. And there used to be actually a brick addition, and that was,
you can see the cellar hole from that right here.
So basically, owners have just purchased this property just for the brick alone, and so all the brick is gone because the old St. Louis brick is pretty valuable around here.
Right.
And it's used to restore a lot of buildings around here. Probably a lot of the brick that was used for this is probably in some buildings that underwent a restoration in this neighborhood. So it's probably still around here. It's just been relocated, repurposed.
Cool. We're going to do our best to get a couple of items for them to put in their displays, and this is going to happen in a couple of years, obviously, but we're going to try to follow the progression of this whole project that they're doing, and we're going to do our best to find those ancient artifacts that lie under the ground. They're rusting. We need to retrieve them, and they're going to add a little bit of a put a little bit of a stamp on the history of this particular place. Thanks to Fortune Hunters Pete, Joe, and Brian for taking us along, and a special thanks to Captain Chase. Thanks, Captain. And a very special thanks to Mike Schrand and Lisa LaRose for allowing us to barge into their lives a little bit and see what they're doing. You can get a little bit more information on Mike and Lisa's project, the Becker-Anthes house. Go to Becker-Antheshouse.org. They're also on Facebook. Just search Becker-Anthes house. And they also have a GoFundMe project. That's at GoFundMe Becker-Anthes. Thanks again for watching and commenting and, allowing us to take up a good portion of your time. There's a little more at the end.
Giant Legos. This is what rich kids play with. Us poor kids, we have to play with small Legos.
I'm out in the backcountry in the Halifax with Captain Chase, and we're doing a different kind of fortune hunting this time. We're after redfish. A couple hours to wait for the tide to come up, but we are here and ready. Time to catch some bait. Here we are at Bird Island, which won't be here in a couple hours. Back off the Halifax River.
It's not big.
Love that sound.
Oh, maybe it's a little bigger than I thought.
Captain Chase is going to bring in some crab.
Let's see if there's even anything in this one.
Being a crab fisherman.
A lot of nada.
Let's see what's in this one. There we go. Crab. Blue crab. That'll go nicely with our redfish.
guys are a little bit tiny.
Is it a size limit or a bother limit?
It's there's a size limit on 'em. You can't take them anything under 5 inches from that spine to spine.
Ah. Oh yeah, we got a toadfish or something in there. That's a beauty. Snails, hermit crabs, some other weird crap. Chasing crabs off.